Welcome back to this World of Warcraft Let's Play. You're Sambo, and joining us as always is Seraphis, our Worgen Mage, and as you can see, we're in Gilneas City, surrounded by the devastation of the battle that just occurred in the last episode. If you're watching, if you've been joining us in this series, you'll know that we rampaged through Gilneas City, trying to take back what is rightfully ours from the Foresaken, who of course had overrun it. And you can see here the aftermath. We've got Forsaken bodies, burning Forsaken bodies, burning Worgen bodies, absolute and utter devastation after our big battle with the Forsaken, and of course with Sylvanas herself, which occurred right here where we lost the prince. That's right, King Gen Greymane's son, who was killed. He's around here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where he is. Oh, not sure. Anyway, he's around and he's looking after his son's body. All very sad. And of course, you'll also remember that we've got this new quest that we have to do here, slowing the inevitable, because if you do have a look at last episode, you'll know that Sylvanas had promised the orcs, in other words Garrosh at the end of the day, that she wouldn't be using the plague. And of course, if you've played Warcraft 3, the RTS, you'll know all about the plague. And then as soon as the emissary from the orcs left, of course, she said, well, actually, we are using the plague. All very nasty and dastardly. We have a new task here that the king has asked us to do, where he wants us to honour his son's memory because he cared for his people. What does he say? We have to prevent that plague from being deployed while we evacuate our men, women and children to Aderic's Repose, which is another area. We've captured one of the Forsaken's dreaded bombing bats, and he wants us to fly the beast as best we can and unleash hell upon those who seek to bring the plague to our people. Hurry. So we have to kill 40 invading Forsaken and also destroy 6 Forsaken catapults. If we have a look at the map, let's go up here, zoom out, you can see that we're going to basically fly north into this new area up here, and we're going to be on the wings of a bat, and we're going to have to do some bombing, I'd imagine, to take out that many people. So there we go, that's brought us up to speed. Without further ado, here is the captured riding bat, and as you can see, we've got a mount icon there now, which means we're able to mount this, and no doubt off we go. And there we have it. We've got a couple of abilities. We've got an iron bomb, and we've also got a flyback ability. So in other words, we're probably going to circle around and kill a whole bunch of Forsaken, and once we've done that, of course, we'll be able to return. Very cool. You can see there the fog on the wall, the Forsaken fog. And we're getting a bit of lag for some reason. Here we go, here's some catapults. So let's click on this and aim on the ground. Oh, for some reason it lagged out and we weren't able to do that. You can see heaps and heaps of Forsaken on the ground. We're throwing bombs down there. You can see it go, whee! And you can see this count here that will increase as we throw these bombs down. And on the map, there we go, you can see now that it's opened right up. There we are, the northern headlands is where we're at. If it'll stop lagging on us for some horrible reason. And here we go, you can see that the Forsaken have basically set up a huge outpost here. There's hundreds and hundreds of them in the northern headlands. So we're wanting to bomb them to bits, basically. So the easiest way to do this, of course, folks, is just to hit 1 on your keypad and then just use the mouse to position that AoE effect. And you can see the bombs being flung off there. And excuse the lag, I do have a couple of videos uploading at the same time, so that's probably why we're getting lag, which is of course a bit unusual in WoW. There we go, 40 of 40 Forsaken done, and we're getting, you can see there that the Forsaken catapults are hurling plague at the wall. That's what that mist is on the ground. And we're wanting to take those catapults out to stop that plague happening. So wherever we can, and we're just probably going to fly around in this loop until we're finished, and then of course we can use our return home ability to do just that, return home. So I see it's taking a bit of a different turn this time. And yeah, taking out lots of the catapults there. Let's have a look at the quest map. The count, and we've done that, but I'm having so much fun flying around here in the northern headlands, killing Foresaken. We'll just keep going a little bit, and again, looking at the map, you can see that it's exposed that whole area there. So we're really taking it to them here. Thinning their ranks.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
Alright, and that's enough for us. Let's click the return home button now. And off we go, flying back into Gilneas. I'd imagine we'd land exactly where we started. And look at that, bombing us with the plague. Oh, bless me. Alright, good job. Job well done. Woot. Oh, there's the king.
Will rise again.
And of course, there is his son, our prince's corpse. Very sad. You've done well. Almost everybody managed to make it through. That's good news. Alright, he's saying it's time to pack it in, Seraphis. Most of our people have made it through. It's your turn now. Take this torch, you're going to need it. The tunnel is full of nasty knee-biting critters of the worst kind. Use it to keep them at bay and speak to Krenin on the other side. So we have to use the half-burnt torch to get to the other side of the tunnel beneath Gilneas City. Really cool idea. Having this escape tunnel, basically. And it's going to effectively take us out of the city. Let's have a look as to where it's going to take us. So you can see we're in here, in this quarter here, and we're obviously going to go through this tunnel. It's going under the water there, and it's going to come out in this section of the game. And I'd say that this will be the area that we're going to concentrate on next. It sounds like there's a new encampment that's been set up there. It's probably the next stage of our exodus. So let's try that. Now we've got in our bags, I think we should have, there we go, half-burnt torch. And of course, its use is to repel vermin with a swing of your fiery torch. And remember, of course, we don't have to open our bags to use it. It appears in the quest tracker there, so it's right on the money there in terms of being easy to use. You could, of course, there we go, that's repel. You can see the symbol above their head there. You could, if you wanted to, drag it to a hotbar, so you could just push a number. Might be easier for some people if you don't want to have to click up here. Gosh, look how many rats there are and spiders. So we're using this to repel them away from us because they are attacking us. You can see our health going down there. Look how many there are. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. Let's keep using this because, boy, we're going to need it. We're definitely getting chopped to bits there. Now, I'd imagine what we can also do is use our Frost Nova. Here we go. And it's frozen a whole bunch of them in place. And we died. Look at that. Gosh, that's rougher than you think. Okay, we're going to have to be just a little bit more careful with that. Although, it has actually taken us to the new place. Can you believe it? That is hilarious. So, it's taken us to the res point where we would actually come out. That's cheating, though. Let's go back inside. I'm not sure where the tunnel comes out. Maybe it's down here. Looks like it's down here. Yep. Let's do the right thing and go back to our corpse and see if we can actually make it through, because I don't want to take any durability damage or anything like that either, of course. Alright, except there's our body. Yep, we'll take that. Let's immediately use this to scare them off. We're almost there. We almost made it. Talk about hundreds and hundreds of critters. Good lord. And there we go, in the new area. A couple have come out. And that made short work of them. And you can see here we've got all sorts of cool things going on. We've got restless ancestors. We've got disturbed spirits. That's probably the first time a lot of you have seen that particular ghost model in the game. And this is a really cool area here as well. And you can see Gilneas City out to the east there. Let's hop over and have a look. Yep, so there's the city. So we've effectively like walked under here. That's where we were over there. We've sort of gone under a tunnel right under the moat there. And we've ended up in this cool little area. Let's have a look. And yep, at the bottom of this new area. So no doubt this is the start of a new quest hub, basically. Let's see if we can get back inside and talk to Krenin.
We live another day.
Most everyone made it through, but now we're stuck here, surrounded by our own dead. Yep, all the souls of these restless ancestors, and we can see a Gilnean survivor up there in the distance. Ooh, look at that! We are so close to leveling. Oh, that's classic. 8,671 XP points out of 8,700. That's 29 XP is all we need in order to ding up to level 14. What a classic that is. Anyway, laid to rest. In our hurried escape from safety, we disturbed the resting homes of our ancestors, a grave sin, if you'll pardon the pun. It's tradition that a small memento be buried on the top of the Gilnean's graveyard beneath the shallow earth. And the stampede of people fleeing these tunnels has unearthed these mementos and angered the spirits. So we need to find them and bring them to him. We'll see to it that the dead return to their eternal slumber. So we have to obtain 5 unearthed mementos. And let's have a look and see if we can see where that is. And of course you just push on the little 1 there on your quest tracker and that will bring up the map. And we can see that they're just north of us. So up we go. It looks like this is a burial hill. Let's kill this guy because I'd imagine, and by the way, it's level 11 now we're dealing with. This is going to make us ding, I'd imagine. And there we go. We've reached level 14. Congratulations to us. And we have a new ability available, which is called Polymorph. And we'll have a look at that in a moment. Gosh, look at that. Piles of bones on fire. That's gross. Here we go. Here's some disturbed soil. You can see it glowing there, and of course it has the use icon over it when you hover over it, and that's got ourselves a quest item there, which is an unearthed memento. So that's 1 of 5 of those. So we're basically looking for the sparklies. Let's go up to this burial mound here. You can see a couple of more sparklies there. Jolly good stuff. And of course, because they're basically humanoid, we are getting linen cloth drop off them, of course, which we want to keep for either our first aid or for selling on the auction house for ludicrous amounts of money. And that was a restless ancestor there, the ghost. Alright, more soil for us. Oh, why didn't we loot that? There we go. We want the linen cloth. 2 of 5, and we can start to see stuff out on the horizon in the background there. There's some windmills. Obviously this zone goes all the way up to the northwest. You can see there's some remnants of an old castle up there or something. Clear casting, naturally giving us a free shot. Reduces the mana cost of your next spell down to 0. Five of those, all done. Let's head back and hand that in. Actually, let's kill a couple more along the way. Whoops, I cast a wand then instead of our frostbolt. Didn't mean to do that. And you can see we've got ourselves a debuff there. Tortured Soul, shadow damage every 3 seconds. And that's what that purple glow is around us. Very cool effect that. But that is giving us a bunch of damage over time. It will time out eventually, of course. Alright, heading back to the hand. And let's use the old Dark Flight ability. And then we'll quickly take a look at Polymorph. Even though there's no trainer right nearby, we will still check it out and I'll be able to tell you what it is. Thank you. Let us hope this works. You've done it. Even in these times, we must honour the dead. Take these offerings and place them at Aderic's tomb. Let's hope it's enough to placate the ghosts of our ancestors. So it looks like we've got an offering there to try and make peace with these ghosties that are floating around. Let's just make sure that there's no NPCs in here that we can repair with or anything. No, it doesn't appear to be. Alright, so let's take a look at our P window, which is, of course, our abilities book. And we can see here that Polymorph is glowing brightly. So what is Polymorph and why is there a picture of a sheep there? Well, what it does is it turns an enemy into a sheep. Yes, you heard me right. Basically, you cast this and you hear a bah, and it turns them into a little wandering sheep. Now, what is that good for? Well, that's basically a form of crowd control. They have, if it's a player or an NPC, they have no control over it. Any damage will generally sort of make the effect come off. So you want to be careful once you've polymorphed a mob or another player that you don't damage them again if you want them to stay crowd controlled. And it says here that it turns the enemy into a sheep that can't attack you, but it does heal quickly. So it will heal them up if they are badly damaged. So you have to keep that in mind as well. It's a bit of a trade-off, and that's a new effect, I think, in the polymorph, by the way. Best used to keep a second enemy busy while finishing the first one off. You may only polymorph one target at a time. And it actually lasts for quite some time as well, so it's very handy in dungeon runs. So as a crowd control mechanism, we desperately want that as a mage. Unfortunately, though, of course, there's no trainers around that I can see. Maybe there'll be one coming up soon. Hopefully, we'll be able to get there and train that as quickly as possible. Let's bring out a pet. Who have we got? Random pet. Looks like it's the Pandaren monk. Let's bow to you. And hopefully he'll bow back. Yes, he has. Hello, hello. Alright, pretty sure we need to go up here from memory. Let's just clear out the area a little bit. And the familiar sound of the clear cast popping off there. Always welcome. Alright, looks like this is the altar. And look at that, there's a nice, we went the weird way. There's actually a nice little path leading up to it. And where is it? Here we go. Patriarch's Blessing. Aderic's tomb, that's the one. Let's use this. Place this blessed offering. Oh, cutscene.
May the light bless the spirits of our ancestors, for they've chosen to allow my son to rest upon this holy ground. It is here, surrounded by the heroes and patriots of Gilneas, where he belongs.
You were a true man of the people, Liam. Unlike any royal I've ever met. We'll make them pay for this.
Gilneas will remember your courage forever.
We'll return, Liam. I swear this to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. That was pretty funny. A poignant moment as we remember the prince and we lay a wreath, basically, or an offering at the tomb to placate the souls of all the and honour the fallen warriors before us. And what happens, of course? Our Pandaren monk decides to start wah-hi-yah-ing in the background all throughout that, completely ruining the poignancy of that moment. I'm very sorry that I pulled him out. That was very funny. Oh dear. Anyway, it's not normally meant to be that comedic. Anyhow, let's talk to Krenin now. Well done, Seraphis. The dead return to their slumber. We might have lost our city, but at least it looks like the dead have forgotten us. Meet with the rest of the survivors in Keel Harbor. I'm sure there's plenty to do before in the clear. Gen hasn't arrived yet, so I suppose Lord Crowley will be in charge there. So we have to go speak to Crowley at Keel Harbor. Sounds to me like that's going to be the next little hub zone. And yes, so it's northwest of us. Let's make our way there. Sounds like we're going to have to do a whole bunch more stuff before we get out of here. Let's follow the road perhaps. And look at that. It looks like all the ghosts have phased out. So while we were talking to that NPC, the ghosts disappeared now that we've made our peace with them. Very cool scenery around here. You can see all the graves, the greens, the browns, the dark tones. It is raining again, of course, because it's Gilneas. But I do like the scenery here. It's really cool. Lovely texture work as always. And there's another player. Hello, let's give them a wave. I'm pretty sure there wasn't anything in that house. Whoops, I never checked. Never mind, we've got our mission here to go on to Keel Harbor. And I'd say that the map should open up very soon. Oh, look at that in the distance. We can see, there we go, Keel Harbor. Discovered Keel Harbor. Now the map has opened up a little. There we go. We can see the village marked on the map. We can see Aderic's Repose there now as well. You can see there the sails of some very cool ships. Those ships are Night Elf ships. In fact, are there two or one of them? We'll go there and take a look. In fact, here's a Night Elf regiment.
Ishnu Allah.
Ishnu Allah indeed.
How may I help? I am honored.
And these here, now these may be familiar to anyone again who has played Warcraft 3. I'm sure you'll know what these are. These are actually, you know what, I can't remember the exact names of them. Oh, there they are. It's a glaive thrower. Silly me. So you can, of course, hover over them or select them and the name of them actually appears. You can see that it looks like there's a player in one of them. So it looks like we're going to get to drive these at some point, which, of course, is a bit of a fantasy come true. If you've used these in Warcraft 3, you'll know how they work. They're like a ranged artillery unit. And now we're actually going to get to pilot one by the looks of things. Very cool. Admiral Nightwind, hello.
Ishnu Allah.
Greetings, Seraphis. And here we get to see, for the very first time, some Night Elf architecture, because even though this is a ship, you can start to see the arches and the sort of adornments that the Night Elf culture has. Their hometown looks very much like this. Very cool. What's off in the distance there? That's some... Oh, that may be the actual wall, I think. That is it. So you can see up the top there, it's actually the Greymane wall, which of course is at the bottom of Silverpine, and that wall was blocked off for years and years in the game. Everyone wanted to know what was behind it, and of course this is what's behind it, what we've been exploring. So I guess if we wanted to, we could go for we could go for a run up the top there and actually check out what it looks like these days. I've never done that before. Maybe that's something we can do. Anyway, this is what the Night Elf ships look like. And another thing that you guys may not have seen is a hippogriff. That is what we use when we're in Night Elf land to get around. These are the flying mounts, if you like. These guys transport you around the Night Elf zones. Very cool, lovely creatures, and you can see they've got their armor on and their saddle there. Very graceful. Hello, Lorna. Now what we want is, before anything else, hopefully a general goods vendor, and there is one there. Yay, we need to empty our bags.
All right then, what have we here?
Using Sellomatic, of course. Oh, and it looks like we've got no greys, so they're all white. So we're going to get rid of some stuff here. Our Greymane cloak, we don't need that anymore. We're going to use our linen for sure. The greens we're probably going to sell on the auction house, so I will actually keep those for now. What else is there that we can get rid of? Nothing. Might make ourselves a couple of bandages. Perhaps we're at level 20 of 75.
The only honest merchant's a Gilnean merchant.
Let's create a whole bunch of these very quickly, because I do want to level up our bandaging, our first aid. Of course, as I mentioned in the last episode, sometimes what you want to do is actually sell them on the auction house, because they do fetch a pretty penny. But you can see there we're getting up to basically 1 skill increase per bandage, which is exactly what we want. So it is a lot of money going down the drain, I guess. But hey, we need to level our first aid at some point, so we might as well do it now while we're at the beginning of the game. Just 5 more to go, nearly there. And that's going to take us to about level 42, I'd imagine, out of 75. So we're just over the halfway mark. Here we go, yep, level 42 out of 75. Now, once again, if you want, you can either vendor the extra bandages that you've made. You can see I've got a whole bunch there. In fact, I've got 39 of them. Or we can, again, save the extras there to put on the auction house. I always like to carry around a stack. And by the way, a stack is 20. Most things stack in 20. Some stack in 200. Some are only 1 stack, some items. Depends what it is. If you hover over it with the Auctioneer add-on, the Auctioneer add-on I think tells you this. It says there stacks in lots of 20, so you can always tell how many they stack in. Alright, so that's cleared out our bags a little bit more. Let's go and hand in the quest to Lord Darius Crowley.
We will prevail.
The Night Elves made good on their promise. They've bought ships and are ready to offer us sanctuary in their land. So that's a big moment as well, folks. What that's saying is that once we get out of this Worgen starting zone, we're actually going to end up in the secondary Night Elf zone. So obviously not in the Night Elf very starting zone, but once the elves get off their island tree of Teldrassil, which we'll go through one day in a future Let's Play episode, they end up in what used to be what's it called, Darkshore. And that's been changed radically by the Cataclysm, but sounds to me like once we've finished up here, they're going to actually ship us off to that zone, which is really cool because the Night Elf zones are really beautiful. They're a great place to quest, especially now with all the Cataclysm changes making the quest flow a lot better. So that's giving it away there. He's saying that they're going to offer us sanctuary in their lands, but unfortunately the Forsaken's allies have arrived as well. And that, of course, would be the Orcs, and they're advancing upon us while the Horde gunship prevents the transport ships from taking our people to safety. Now, saying that the Druids are holding the enemy back, but it won't last for long. Fortunately, the Elven ships were carrying siege weapons, and that's these glaive throwers here, of course. So take one of these glaive throwers and meet the enemy head on. So this is going to be lots of fun. Looks like we're going to use the Night Elven glaive thrower to slay 40 Orc raiders, so you're going to get to see a whole bunch of Orcs. Whoa! Alright, that was someone else using the glaive thrower, and they've parked on us. Thank you for that. We need to use it to slay 40 Orc raiders, 8 Wolfmaw outriders, and 4 Orcish war machines. And it looks like we get ourselves a new staff, which gives us a whole bunch of stuff. Although unfortunately that means we get to lose our staff of earned tranquility, which I really love. So we're never going to sell that, don't worry. And look at this one; it's very boring. It's just a stick. But of course it has much better stats. So we'll accept this quest. And once again, folks, unfortunately it's going to be another cliffhanger. You can see here, because we're running out of time, we're going to have to drive the glaive thrower into this area here and slaughter a whole bunch of Orcs, Wolfmaw outriders, and war machines. That's going to be lots of fun. We'll save that till the next episode as we hang here with our Night Elf allies. And as always, of course, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this episode. Certainly hope you join us in the next one. On behalf of myself, Seraphis, I'm going to get that right one day. On behalf of myself, Sambo, and our Worgen Mage, Seraphis, it's us saying take care, see you later, bye-bye.